What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope y'all done had or have had a good day. Y'all gained some knowledge. Y'all learned something new. Just overall, just had a highly favored time or presence today. And man, it's just been a long day. So we're just gonna get into it. Work had me a little spaced out, but nevertheless, we still gotta grind and make sure that we trying not to lead people astray and trying to get them to understand that you are greater than what you can really think. It's just you have to do a little research. You have to put the work in to truly understand who you are and your purpose. You have to understand what drives you, what motivates you, but what also takes away from those things. That makes you want to quit, makes you get a little scared, get a little anxious. We don't even have to worry about those things. You don't have to worry about those things. I don't have to worry about those things. The only thing that we would ever have to do is simply try. If we try, there's no such thing as failing. All right? But as you can see in the title, man, we're going to talk about, Cabbage Patch Kids, Earth Seeds, and we're just going to really just kick the shit, really. So, in just about any religious text, religious book, from the Torah, the Quran, Talmud, the Bible, all of them have a depiction of the Most High creating man in its full form, cultivated from the earth, right? So the Most High, the Father, Earth, Mother, carried our ancestors to term, to breathe life, right? And you got to understand, this is where the family tree comes in. There's nothing but a branch on that tree. Like, regardless of a tree being alive, it can have many dead branches, right? Doesn't mean that they're not a part of the family. They're not still there. It just means they're not in this present form, right? So one thing that we have to understand when we are doing the research behind all of these different topics, we have to truly understand and remember the things that we learn. Because if we don't, we're basically doing this for no reason, okay? And as I was stating, they all depict the version of us coming from the earth. Now, if we understand that it doesn't really take a lot of people to create a bunch of people when you have time. The variable is always time. It's not necessarily the number, it is the time. Because with the right amount of time, you can get just about any number of people, okay? Because life and its variables and how they work. And if you're looking at nature, especially when something starts out, especially as being an earth seed, you will understand that it is easy for the Most High to create 500 beings at a time from a simple, how to put it, session with the earth, right? With Mother. Okay? Now, once they were cultivated and actually came forth into life, there was things to learn. There were rules to be established, to be understood, right? And yes, we have gotten away from those things because we're confusing information. Because there is so much information out there, you don't really know what to actually go with. Now, if you understand that race only came about in the 1500s, then you would understand that everybody understood that you were from the dirt. And the dirt is where you will return. That was all that mattered. So if you understood and understand that you were planted, or your forefathers, ancestors were planted, and you're nothing but a branch on that tree, then you will understand you really have a purpose. And if you don't even want to be a branch, you can say that you can be a root of that tree, right? And you can grow into be anything that you desire, but you will always be a part of that tree, the start, the seed, right? And even if you're just saying that you're not a branch, you're a ribbon, right? You're a ring to show the lineage, the age of the existence of those that came before you, right? So you're supposed to wear your rings proudly because this is the age in which your ancestors allowed you to be here, right? So once you was planted, or once your ancestors was planted, and they sprouted from the earth, this is where they got the conception of Cabbage Patch Kids. Once you understand that every religion talks about how you are created and designed in harmony with nature. And there is nothing wrong with not being able to grasp the concept of the structure, makeup of your beauty. But if you're trying to really grasp the concept of your existence, then you have to understand that you're just nature. Minor tweaks. That is all. None of this that society depicts matters because we are from the same thing. We were created the same. However, man's manipulation of the situation has pretty much put us in this place. But all you would ever have to do is do a little bit of critical thinking. All you would have to do is ask yourself some logical questions, but then do the research behind those logical questions so that you can get logical answers. Because when you start diving deep into things, most things aren't what they say. Most things that are given to you are given to you to corrupt you, not to simply help you or give you real sense of hope. It gives you neediness. It has you always attached or waiting for something, right? So if I'm saying that I'm going to constantly pray and wait, I mean, what should I expect? What should I really expect in return for my waiting? Not my effort, not my energy, not my blood, not my sweat, not my tears, but waiting. Then, I mean, we really got to understand that nothing is ever going to come. So we've been sitting back waiting on answers getting answers, but also getting things that isn't warranted, that goes against everything that we truly desire or want in the knowledge that we seek. However, when you do a little research, you can come to terms or a baseline or basis for certain things. Because certain things you'll never be able to understand or even delve into without the right sources or text to even try and burrow down that rabbit hole. It's a sense of wanting to know. However, understanding that you could know with the infliction of what that knowledge could bring. So, yes, I understand that research scares most people because they have basically made knowledge bad for the most part for anybody because they have made it cool for ignorance to be blissful. Excuse me. However, ignorance is simply the form that takes less to indulge in because there's no understanding behind it. It's go with the flow, go as it is. And it is okay that most people are not leaders, not quote unquote chosen ones, but you have to truly understand that everybody gets the call. It's just very few that actually pick up. Now you can be a king and a queen in words, but it only makes sense in action, right? It only makes sense when you're doing as you're saying. So from the baseline of being an earthseed, you're going to understand that you're going to simply respect nature and everything that comes with it. You're not going to go against nature. You're not going to go against your fellow man. You're not going to go against your fellow sister. There is no opposition. There's no such thing. Nobody's from another planet. None of us are aliens. There are some things in life that is truly stranger than fiction. Because when you go back in any story, the problem with man and its infliction was to do evil. And evil came in many forms. See, there could be a vast number of things that could have taken place in evolution. However, man got sidestepped with his wanting to create something it didn't understand. So, in history, why there is not a widespread barrage of knowledge is because, again, the truth is stranger than fiction. It would make people look at things a lot different because you are not as different as you want to believe. They have every fair-skinned person believe that there is something different. They have every dark-skinned person believing that there's something different. However, if we understood that we all came from the same source, nothing was created differently or on a different playing field. There was man's hand in going against nature that put us in this situation. However, it is our lack of knowledge and lack of understanding how we should deal with nature or deal with ourselves as or one another. We we break every law given to us innately from birth. Now you have to understand that the land, right, is 20% of the earth. The rest, 80% is water. That is your makeup. That is your composition. Do you think that is by chance? Do you think that this is by chance? You have to understand that nothing happened by chance. Nothing has happened by chance, and nothing will ever happen by chance. There's always forces at play that are going to do and make things happen. It's simple. There's one thing that you can't be fooled about, and it's the things that you come across, you read, and you comprehend. If something else goes against this or can prove it false, then you have to keep doing your research until you come to a serious basis or baseline that you can slipstream or just start with. But when we are acting and treating and displaying emotional feelings and actions towards one another, we have to understand that we're truly going against ourselves, but we're going against the very people that understand our plight. So to truly be an earth seed, that you understand that everything is not what people make it out to be. And yes, misunderstandings do happen. However, the misunderstanding that we are at today is a catastrophe on a multitude of levels because we simply don't know. But also, we don't care enough to know. And then the knowledge that we do have or obtain, we obscure it for objectified reason, following, money, propaganda, whatever. And what I'm saying is, at some point, you really have to look at life itself and see the beauty in its creation. You have to see the beauty within yourself. You have to understand that there is nothing outside of what was created with you and alongside you that is more masterful. It's always trying to be recreated in all forms and facets. Dioramas, mini scales, television, video games, board games. I mean, toys, figurines, whatever you name it. Life is always trying to be mimicked because it is beautiful. You're beautiful. But you have to understand that if you came from the earth, you are organic. You are something that took its time to cultivate. Each and every time the lineage has kept going. Each time a root has sprouted. Each time a branch has flourished. Leaves have shown its grace. Like, you have to understand that your living ancestors matters just as much as the ones that aren't alive. Your family tree, your lineage, is something that you have to truly respect. But you also have to respect those outside of you. You have to respect those that you encounter, don't know, because you are all from the earth. We are all from the earth. And we are unique in purpose and spirit. You have the chance to do anything in life. Anything in life. You so choose to do. The only problem is that you're not willing to plant the seeds and watch the fruits of your labor as your ancestors did. You're not worried about sitting back, actually coming up with a plan, and then implement. You're not trying to watch or water yourself in life because you will be willing to constantly go through whatever society tells you to, but not understand what was the purpose of doing it at all. Because at birth, your given right was to do as you will. Because whatever you will, either were going to bear fruit or weren't going to bear anything. That is the concept of life. Everything that you do is either going to have a reward, be steady, or have a consequence, or consequences, or just rewards overall. But the latter is pretty much the spectrum. So to understand where you came from, you can truly understand where you're going as long as you choose to do so. Most people don't choose to do so. Most people don't care enough to say that we have or can make all the solutions necessary to the problem unless it's beneficial. Now, if we take a true look at the situation, knowledge and history is two of the biggest things in the world when it comes to topics. Why? Because it has a vast array of things combined with it to actually either make it true, solidify, or disprove it. And this what intrigues most people because most people simply like drama or like to argue. But that was something that was taught. It wasn't something that you learned how to do. Right? It was it wasn't something, it was something that you learned how to do, but it wasn't something that was self-taught. So you watched all these people doing it. So you think it's the norm. Then you have people directly teaching it to you. So you don't really understand that you're not supposed to go the opposite way because discernment is for those that truly have the ability to think on a basis that has a logical standpoint, but also the what if factor in it. Because everybody loves to speculate, but most people don't like to come back to reality. So gaining knowledge breaks people's reality, so therefore it breaks people's personality, thought process, and action. So if you control somebody's history, right, and you control the knowledge, you can control everything from A to Z. Because pretty much everything starts with these two things. If you don't get the right knowledge, you can't compete. Right? And if you don't know your history, you're always going to know your history. So therefore, the knowledge to compete is always going to be on the back burner, because first you need to know who you are. Now, to understand that race came around in the 1500s, then you would understand that nobody cared up until that point. Up until that point, nobody could give a rat's ass what you believed you were. So now we have to really understand and find why nobody cared. These are the premises that indulge most people to do research. But nowadays, it is more acceptable to just listen, convey, and then interpret. Or interpret and then convey. But there are certain things, like this book right here, the American College Dictionary, that pretty much shows you that life is not what you believe. Right? There's things in this book that most of us never gotten taught. Never had the ability to learn in a lifetime. Not even if you're just really searching the web. Because the information is controlled. So if you understood that what we learn now, it's not the same thing that they learned in 1963 in college, right? In college, then you'll understand. You'll truly understand that you would have to really indulge yourself on the basis that nobody had to sell you on it, that you just truly, genuinely wanted to know. That would be the actual way that you or I or anybody would be able to truly indulge in any topic or anything in reference and have an understanding. There's no reason for us to keep fighting over race, religion, ethnicity. We all came from the earth. We all understand that we can't leave this motherfucker, right? We can't leave. You go down, where you going to? Where are you going to? See, y'all give power to entities and deities that have no power whatsoever. And that's just what it is. You give your attention span and your time to things that truly don't matter. Because when things really, when things truly need a little different overstanding, it is not accomplished because the practice was not put in. The work was never sought after to be accomplished. One of my biggest questions is, how could you ever let society make you turn your back on people that either gave birth to you, share the same blood or DNA, DEA as you, or made your presence or their presence a worthy one to remember, or just want to continue to indulge in? How could you ever want to turn your back on these people? How could you ever want to dissolve yourself of associating or being in the presence or present with those people. Society should never make you sit back and disengage yourself from those that you love and whom love you. You have to remember from the place at which you've came, from the place at which y'all came. And it's nothing but been a beautiful continuous cycle of life. And you're in the lineage. So be proud of that. Wear everything with a badge of honor. As you should. There's no reason that you should ever have to sit back and hate any experience that was given to you because you were selected to be a part of this life, to actually experience the enjoyment, the ups, the downs that just existence has to offer. I'm not saying that you chose your existence. What I'm saying is existence chose you. Somehow you were hand selected out of 2 to 300 million sperm, gave or given essence, and allowed to roam on the Most High's earth. That shit wasn't by chance. They call that what? Anthropology, right? Anthropology. And then when you get the anthrocentric, you have to understand this is the actual thought process, but the study of you being the center of the universe. The universe, right? So to understand that if you're the center and you didn't come from up, you came from the ground, and yet you're a part of lineage, which they quote unquote call a family tree. You are not an alien to this land. You are of this land, regardless of what the land is called. 20%, 80%. Water, body. 20%. 20% land, 80% water, earth. Let's put it together, please. Like, just do a little thinking. You are a earth seed, a descendant of a earth seed, or a Cabbage Patch Kid. We just really have to think all the stories that we were told. So our existence isn't by chance. We were given the opportunity to do and excel in anything that we desire, as long as our will, effort, and might was behind it. Our heart and mind will do anything necessary to make sure that it is attainable and achievable. And it's as simple as that. You've never needed magic. You've never needed anything because you had the power of thyself, thy will, and the energy to do any and everything. This is your power. You have the power of creation. You have the power of exertion. You have the power of will. You have the power of determination. Anything that you see fit can be accomplished when understanding that you are one with the next thing that is in front of you, behind you, or beside you. See, when people say nature and do all that, they take it to a whole different degree. Because I believe that you are supposed to eat fruits, vegetables, meat, fish. And you can indulge in vices and have natural, or just things that you indulge in that aren't natural, as far as like sugars and soda and stuff like. Yes, you want to live the healthiest life possible, but you also want to enjoy your life. You don't want to make this existence something that was frowned upon, or something that you would ever want to change. because life has no do-over. Your existence, again, is not by chance. So once that existence is pretty much ill and void, it would have to be another one if we're talking about reincarnation. But most of you believe that there's only 144,000 that will only continue in a cycle when you don't even understand how many were planted from the get-go to actually or populate the earth to even form a hypothesis to cultivate a real degree of understanding what was created at the forefront of us, at the forefront of any of this. Because all the knowledge, all the history is skewed and mixed up to purposefully keep these conflated topics on the forefront of our minds and our tongue. When you make it simple, when you share information, when you use all information, when you actually take the time and break that down, the necessary information or vernacular, so that people can actually not just interpret, but convey, understand, and overstand what is being told or repeated to said person or people. And we just have to understand that the knowledge is out there. We have to be willing to go get it. We have to be willing to take the steps in learning the things that we truly desire or doing the things that we truly desire. We have to stop allowing these minute details infringe upon our emotions, our actions, our desires. Because the only confliction is that one day we will cease to actually exist. Things that you wanted to transpire, happen, do, or be done could have been done only if you truly understood when or what to do. So we have to let these topics go and understand it. We are all the same. So if you want to talk about what black people are different, if we're going to get in different races and all that, well, let's see. Okay, let's see, right? Because I have a term that most of you probably never heard of, right? Most of you never heard of. Let's do it like this, right? So we got blackamoor, right? A Negro, any dark-skinned person, right? Okay, a Negro, a member of the Negro race, a person having some Negro ancestry, right? But what is a Negrito? A member of any dwarfish Negroid peoples of Southeastern Asia and Africa, Malaya, the Ottoman, and the Philippine islands, right? Y'all still don't feel like y'all the same because they're making us feel the same, right? Negritic of or pertaining to Negroes or Negritos. All right. Negroid, resembling, akin to the Negro race or presumably, akin to in origin, right? And I mean, as y'all can see, as Black Boy, the grass tree. Black Boy, the grass tree. You gonna ask me now? Where did I get these terms? The American College Dictionary, right? Now, if we open this up a little bit, right, we see 1963, 1964 by Random House. And yes, we get it in because this book has a lot in it. And when you understand, when you're doing real research, right, you understand that it didn't matter. We were everywhere, right? And things happened. Things happened. Popped out a different color, right? But you see, Black Boy, grass tree. Now, if you need me to go to it, to why I make y'all understand it, we're all Cabbage Patch Kids, we're Earth Seeds. I'll go to it, so you can see it in the book. So you understand I'm not bullshit. So that I'm not bullshitting. As you can see, Black Boy, the grass tree. Now, you have to understand, there's a lot of things in life, right, that you really have to comprehend, but you also have to do more research on. All right? Don't allow these people to play on you. Don't allow these people to have you going against everything that you truly know innately from the inside. You are gifted a spirit. That soul is divine, but you have to choose to be, and you have to choose to listen. Most people don't want to listen. Like I said, everybody gets the call. Very few actually pick up. But then you have to understand whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? You can respect any and everybody. You can respect any and every. It is not that hard. We can understand and work together. We can do as we choose. But the problem is, you first must need a system that allows that. And only a system that allows that is a system that is prepared for anything. Preparation needs no preparedness. Yes, living in harmony is great, but you also have to be prepared to fight or die for that harmony at any given time. That's one thing that our ancestors, forefathers, all understood. But you would know that if history and knowledge weren't controlled and capped at a certain point. Pick up a book. Less of the internet, pick up the book. You'll learn a lot of different information that will allow you to go down more holes, to process more thoughts, to understand more topics ideology or theology in any spectrum, on any accord that is put forth. I mean, it is one thing that has to be chosen. Because people believe that you're chosen. You have to choose it. You have to be willing and prepared to do whatever it takes to embark and stay and finish the journey. Because everybody's not going to thrive on the journey. Everybody is not going to finish the journey when they think that they are. You got to understand that while you're watching everybody else, you don't know how long their race is. All you know is that you're running a race. You see your finish line, they don't. Just like you can't see their finish line, you just see that they're going. You maybe believe they're running so fast it had to be a sprint. The whole time it was a marathon. Don't look for what people is doing or what they got. Well, look what they doing, but not what they got or not what they're trying to accomplish or gain. Just simply look what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. Like if they're a good person, supporting rock with, uplifting, make sure that they understand that they are appreciated in all aspects. Because that's what you are. That's what we all are. But we first must understand that we must get from under the situation that we're currently in. So we first must dead the topics that don't mean shit to us. I mean, it's been pretty absurd with all the different topics, but the matriarch and the patriarch is pure insanity. Why would a man and a woman ever want to be against each other when they're the perfect union? I mean, I'll wait. Why would woman want to go against man when they're the perfect union? Right, it's true absurdity. We were put here together to make each other's lives better and easier, more satisfying, more enjoyable. When has it or when did it turn into us not wanting to do none of the shit? None of the above. When did it turn into us not wanting to be in the presence of those that we truly enjoy, those that we truly see and want to hold, want to indulge in, want to correct? I mean, let's be honest. We know the woman was the perfect creation because she comes in so many variations. She does so many different things. But the way you feel, the way she motivates you, and the things that she can do to motivate you, bar none. None compared to it. And we can all say money. We can all say gold. What is we gonna do with all that extra? What we gonna do with it? Figure out which one of these fine, immaculate, gorgeous women to indulge in, to make happy, to make us happy, to make our life easier, to make it worthwhile because it is no longer alone. It is in unity, combination, ready for anything that is thrown its way. You found somebody that you wanted to add on to the family tree, but also extend the tree and the lineage with, therefore creating a nation that you will one day be the king of. Because you already have elders, but y'all don't respect them. They call them your elders. Respect your elders. Respect your elders. But y'all out here wanting to talk to your unalive ancestors or your unalive elders, but you forget those that are already right here. And I'm telling you, the right woman, will make you understand all this. She'll make you understand that no matter how much the world seems like it's against you, it can never be against you. You from it. You from it. You was planted here to do just that. And every time that we procreate, doing just that. So you gotta understand that nothing in life gonna be easy, but it's always gonna be worth it when you understand that you are what you see. You are what everything is. You're just a combination of it all. See, because you're able to vibrate, you're able to listen, you're able to see, but you're also able to allow interpretation and to give it. And everything natural is done from a perspective that most can't even fathom, but even explain. Because when nature takes over, it shocks you most of the time. Because everything that you learned, everything that was taught, everything that was done up until that point, it just didn't seem to have real backing or understanding behind it. But those moments tend to make you see things from a different side. But the wisest advice I could ever give you is to love yourself, love those that came before you, love those that you encounter, and love those that misunderstand you. Because at one point in time, you've been that person or in that position. And nature has never wanted you or allowed hate. It just manifests. Sometimes for survival, and sometimes just because. But we have to understand something. Survival is in primitive nature. We shouldn't be on a survival state or mechanism, at least from not a societal standpoint. Yes, I do believe that one should make their own way, but that way shouldn't have burdens or barriers or boundaries not set by the Lord himself or Mother Earth. Because even in nature, if there's a poison, there's a cure. But they're not too far from each other. Same thing in society. So stop trying to be aliens. Stop trying to be all this extra shit. You're the personification of angels and demons. You're the manifestation of seeds that were planted and sprouted throughout history. The problem is y'all have no longer actually indulged in duality. You have chosen evil. You've chosen to turn the blind eye to the actual things that circumvent or just simply go around you on a day-to-day basis. Because you're not in tune with the next person. You're not in tune with the person that is actually looking back at you with the mirror, but also looking back at you in your neighborhood, your community, your village, but also your lineage. At some point, we have to sit back, reconnect with our roots, and that is family. That is the immediate. That is the far out. That is those that we don't even know. That is those in our community. That is those that we encounter. We treat everybody as a friend, as a family member, until they literally give us no choice but to either handle or simply handle the situation. We have to either fight for the knowledge, fight for the history, and fight for the right to stand above our Mother Earth and under our Father, from which we came. A root of a seed planted, not by man, and not boundaried or bordered by man, but set free in abundance for life itself. When we understand that we can actually do that and actually fight for that, then we will understand what freedom is. But only until then. Only until then. But if you truly want to embark on the journey, if you truly want to do anything in life, do it. Do it. And make sure that you never worry about any hindrance. Because you're going to understand that one day that person is going to be in the same position, successful enough, and get the same thing and wonder why they're getting what they gave you, and then it's going to dawn on them. Everybody learns differently. Everybody moment comes at a different time. So don't worry about what's going on next to you if it's not harming you or harming those that you love or harming the society or world per se. Only uplift it, because that's what you need and want coming towards you. That's what is understood and known and wanted from the soul, given or provided. You just have to be willing to listen. You're just as divine as any other being. You're just as pseudo or knowing than any other person. The problem is you need to pick up the phone. Pick up the call. And make sure that your conversation never stops. Sometimes you need to talk. The majority of the time you just need to listen. You just need to pick up and start. Nobody's gonna walk or go on your journey for you. Nobody's gonna do the work for you. Nobody's gonna save you. Nobody's gonna take the burdens off your shoulders. Nobody's gonna take the problems away from you. All that relies on you. But you must first understand that you are everything that you want, everything that you seek. But you're everything that you see. So you must respect it. You must try and give it the most love and nurture possible until that is no longer an option. Because everybody that you see is in somebody's tree, or somebody's lineage, somebody's root from their cabbage patch, baby. From the seed of the Most High. Those of the first that got spewed out and were able to enjoy all that was given. Just remember, you're not everybody's chance. Your life isn't just a chance. It's an opportunity. Don't squander it.